Who lives in a house like this? David, it's over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Lloyd. And now for our home and studio audience, here's whose house it is.
Hello and welcome back to Replay Retro. I'm Matt, and recently I've been getting a few emails from people who want to take a closer look at the games room that I filmed the show in. So I figured that for this week's episode we could do just that, and I'm going to take you on a little tour now of my games room and my gaming collection. It's not the biggest collection out there, and I know that a lot of you guys have absolutely enormous collections of various retro systems, some of which I'd never even heard of until really getting involved with the community. But we'll take a moment now and I'll show you my retro gaming collection. Right, so here we are inside the games room, and probably the first thing you've noticed is my arcade machine over here. It's a MAME cabinet, so it's got, you know, all the MAME and Neo Geo and whatever else games in it. A little bit further round, just a spare bed over there with some boxes and whatever else on. My 25th anniversary Super Mario standee. I did have quite a lot of other cutouts and stuff, but I had to get rid of them because of space. Around here is the TV that I do my retro games on. Nice old school CRT. And these drawers here, they're just full of various control pads for different systems and adapters and stuff like that. Most of them are normally nice and neatly bundled up, but I haven't really had time to tidy up properly recently. Then we have my fruit machine. It's a Double Dragon fruit machine, which is quite cool. Xbox silent scope gun up there. On the top of the display units are the boxes for a lot of my consoles and accessories and stuff like that. I like to get the consoles boxed where I can, but obviously sometimes you do end up paying a premium for those boxes, so I dodge them. The Menacer and scope there, and Steel Battalion's box. Down here on the floor you've got my two gaming chairs. They're an absolute bargain. I think these are the ones that cost about 70 quid a time in Argos, and I got both of mine for 30 quid. Which is absolutely brilliant. That was from a car boot, I think. 30 quid for both of them was fantastic. And then that brings us on to the collection itself. So in the first unit here on the top we have my Saturn and my Dreamcast. Under that you have my Mega Drive Mark II with Mega CD Mark II and 32X all attached there. And the Mega Drive Mark I right next to that. Underneath is the Master System Mark I and the Master System Mark II. Autofocus is going a little bit crazy for some reason. Underneath there we have my Microvision and the games, which you obviously saw me review a little while back. Then my Neo Geo Pocket Color, which I bought from Xfile 2708, so thank you for that. My Game Gear there. Next shelf down, got a couple of 32X games, just the common ones, Star Wars Arcade and Doom. Fair few Game Gear games, you've got Sonic 2 there. Leaderboard Golf, I have a golf game for almost every Sega system and I don't even like golf. Just the one game from Xfile again there for my Neo Geo Pocket Color. And then my Dreamcast games. A couple without spine labels there, that's Worms Armageddon and Virtua Fighter 3. Next shelf down is Mega CD. And then just after that is Sega Saturn. Saturn is definitely one of my favourite consoles, which is why there's a fair few games for that. Sorry about the light there, it's probably a little bit dark. The next shelf down is Mega Drive. fair few cool Mega Drive games in there, and just a couple of loose Mega Drive carts at the bottom there. Over there, some loose Master System carts, and then some boxed games. A few of them still have the price on because I only picked them up a little while ago. From Murphy and his shop Game Link down in Spalding. Check that out if you guys are ever in that area. On this middle unit here, we've got my Vectrex, my Virtual Boy, Atari 2600, definitely a cool console, and Atari 7800, slightly less cool, but there you go. A load of games for my Atari systems there, including of course the must-have E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Then you've got a few Vectrex games down there, and all my Virtual Boy games. Got quite a few cool Virtual Boy games. Tolero Boxer is probably one of the better games, I think, for that system. On this next unit up, there's some Super Nintendo games. All the loose carts are annoyingly not obviously end labelled, so it's difficult to see what's there. Same with the N64 loose cartridges. Couple of boxed N64 games there. A few GameCube games. Again, I haven't got a lot of GameCube games, it wasn't really one of my favourite systems. Some TurboGrafx 16 cards there. Some loose and some boxed Nintendo Entertainment System games. Original Game Boy, there's a few games kicking about back there. Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, and of course Game Boy Advance. Just above those we have the Super Nintendo and the normal Nintendo. Then the N64, another one of my favourites there, I love the N64. My GameCube, TurboGrafx 16, and Neo Geo AES, fantastic console for your fighting games. And on the last cabinet, I obviously have my old style PS2 there. Prefer that to the slimline one quite a lot. And the giant paving slab that requires obviously 2 people to lift it at any one time. It's the original Xbox. Underneath that, the Panasonic FZ1 3DO. That was the first thing I reviewed on Replay Retro. My Atari Jaguar and the oh so rare Jaguar CD, which works. Really cool. I'll have to review that at some point soon. My original PlayStation there. In really good condition is that. And my PS1, which is in slightly less fantastic condition, because that's the one I actually used more often. That's the Model 2 Atari Lynx there. And next to that, the Model 1 Atari Lynx. Then you've got my Xbox original games. A few loose Lynx games there, including Bill and Ted, Paperboy, awesome game. A few boxed Lynx games as well. I probably have one of the smallest PS2 collections out of any of you there. Just a couple of PS2 games really. PlayStation 1 on the shelf underneath. And that's right, there's a dancing stage game there, and I'm not even ashamed to admit that. Dancing games are awesome. I've probably just lost any respect I had in the game. Underneath that there's a Jaguar CD game there. It's missed. And some boxed Jaguar games, including the amazingly rubbish Kasumi Ninja. And some loose Jaguar cards, including the fantastic must-have Alien vs Predator. That game is amazing. By Jaguar standards. Some 3DO games here. The fantastic Wing Commander with Mark Hamill there. And Star Wars Rebel Assault. My small collection of Neo Geo AES games. Magician Lord being such a hard game. I do not like Magician Lord. Ugh. And then down here just a few books for reference really, more than anything else. And of course the programme from Replay Blackpool. It was an amazing event. I'll be there again next year. And that is pretty much my collection. And that's about it. We've still got a little bit of time left, so we'll just run through to the front room and take a quick look at my more modern games. Here we go. So there's my Xbox 360 games there. What little is left of my PSP collection. I got rid of most of those. A few Wii games there, including Manhunt 2. Should have been such an awesome game. And at the bottom there, my PlayStation 3 games. That's right, to go with my dancing games, I also have SingStar games. So that's my PlayStation 3 collection. And then obviously over here, underneath the big TV, is where the modern consoles live. My Xbox, Wii and PS3 all living under there in perfect harmony. And of course, sat on the table there, the projector, which you saw me do the Aura Interactor review on. And that is it for my gaming collection. Well, thanks for joining me on that quick tour of my games collection. I hope you've seen everything you wanted to see. I do hope to expand the collection more and more over the coming year, as and when finances permit really. But obviously if anyone wants to send me any donations, that's fantastic. I'd just like to take this last little bit of time before the limit runs out, just to thank the 40 subscribers that I've got to this point. It may not seem like the biggest number ever, but to me it's great to know that there are 40 people out there that like what I'm doing and want to see more. So thanks to you guys, and I'll see you again next week when we'll be reviewing one of the Nintendo Entertainment System's biggest rivals. Join me then for Replay Retro.